The goal of this video is to help you learn how to make a PDF document from something like a regular Word document, how to save that up to the course Blackboard Message Center, attach it as a file in the Message Center, and then last but not least, how would you use Excel to show graphical analysis and comparisons to make good scientific data comparisons. So we'll start with the Word document. I have developed a little Word document. I'll come back and add this in just a second, show you where it came from. So I've developed this document. Let's say I want to save it. Let's save it as hit Save As. Make sure you save your Word document first. And I would always put my name in the document, assignment number 1. Okay. And see where it says Format, save it as a PDF. If you do not have that option, then you need to go to a computer that does on campus. That's the short answer. You can download Adobe Acrobat for free. It's on Blackboard. To do so, under the course information tab that you have on the left-hand side of your screen. So you'd hit PDF and hit Save. So when I close this out, I'm going to have this PDF right here. And so this is the new one that I just made. Let's open it and be sure. See how quick that opened up? That's why I like PDFs, because there's no delay, there's no data corruption. It just immediately opens up. So how do you save that to the course Blackboard Message Center? Open up a browser and log into Blackboard. And so when you get to Blackboard, I've just gone to one class that I teach, so I'm going to hit the Blackboard Message Center and see where it says Create a Message. Select that, hit the recipients, always include yourself, and I'll just pretend like this is Jessica sending it to me, and copy me on it, and then put, if this was Jessica's assignment, she would write Jessica Shelton, and she would put assignment number 1. And then she's going to go find that file that was made, and we're going to attach it. Remember where you saved it. So now it's attached, and see this little extension PDF? That means it's in the right format, and you hit Submit. So now that that's the case, you can look at it, and it's in here for me to have. It has a date, time, and stamp on it. It shows it clearly was sent on February the 1st of 2015 at 1:08 p.m. And here's the assignment, and it opens up beautifully with no problems. That's your goal and why I want you to save all of your documents in PDF. Let me be clear that if you submit them in Word or some other type of format, they won't even get opened or graded. So let's take a look at how to use Excel. First of all, Excel is this icon right here. It's part of the standard Microsoft Office suite. It is similar to an accounting type book system. So let me tell you what I have going on here, and I will take these away and we will make new ones to show you how this works. All right, so I've got an assignment for my environmental science students that requires them to go look at a building and a parking lot adjacent to it, and they have to go look at the amount of stuff they found on the ground. So in the building, or right around the outside of the perimeter of the building, they count the amount of trash and recyclables they see. They walk the hallways, they do that, and then they choose a parking lot right next to it. So here's just some made up random data. What do you do with that information? Well, you can kind of say, I know the MAC has a problem with cigarette butts, and so does the parking lot, but I've asked them to analyze the first or the top 4 problems and then give me solutions for that. So they would highlight the entire table. This is just the total amount. Let me show you how I came up with that. Let me take this out and I'll show you. And I'll do it here too. I just hit this auto sum, hit return, auto sum, hit return, and that tells me how many were totally there. I don't need that information for my little chart. So I select all of the information and the titles, and I come up here to charts. And I would always, in this case, what we're trying to do is look at a column. So I do a clustered column, and notice how it assigned the MAC building and the parking lot adjacent to it with a different color. Now it gave me a y-axis. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. It gave me a y-axis of 120. I can change that by coming up to the scale right here, and let's say I wanted to make it 100. So it's going to actually be a little taller than that. So you can see this really shows that well. So this graph goes with this, and that tells me that we have a problem with cigarette butts, plastic bottles, paper are our top 3 problems in the MAC building, but our top 3 problems in the parking lot are not the same. Obviously cigarette butts, paper, and then next in line are the styrofoam cups and general trash. So my plan might be a little different. So let's do the same thing with this one and see how it turns out. Remember, all I do is highlight. Oops, I didn't get it all, did I? You got to get your tags, meaning your titles, highlight the whole thing, come over to column, hit clustered column. Let's move that down a bit. Now, if you're comparing more than one chart, I'm going to tell you your y-axis scale needs to be the same, or else they're very tricky. They don't work right. The interpretation can be skewed. So I'm going to make this 100 so it looks the same as the other. And now I can see where I have my biggest problems both in the MAC building and the parking lot adjacent to it. So I could make my environmental recommendations the same way. So if you're in geology, you may be doing this for a special assignment that I have you do some analysis on. If you're in a different course of some sort, these are very useful tools to make good conclusions graphically. So good information to have. If I wanted to include that in my Word document, I would just copy. So you could come in here and do copy here, or use this cute little tool right here for copy. And then let's get that Word document up again. So I'm going to take this one out, or at least put some space for it. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to paste it. You can paste using this function right here. Or you can come under here and do paste or do Control V. So now I need to put where it came from. Graph by Elaine Fagner, and then put the date, usually whatever the date may be. Okay? That way we know where the source of data came from. That's as easy as 1, 2, 3, isn't it? It's not very hard. The key thing to remember is that always these tools are there to help you work and make improved documents. You may need to insert a photo. So let's say you have a hard time, the file gets too big, you can use an accessory called Snipping Tool, and it's almost on every computer. It's called Snipping Tool, and you could snip that picture and put it right just like you did with this graph right here. So hopefully this will help you. Remember, every document should be posted to the course Blackboard Message Center, and it should always be in a PDF format. Thank you. Bye.